It's an absolutely beautiful day outside. It feels like 70 degrees, so it's probably more like 50, 55. But this kind of weather makes this girl want to get outside, get some vitamin D, and do a little bit of work. For those of you that watched my last video, if you haven't seen it, check it out right here. You'll know that I've spent the winter enrolled in the Master Gardener's course. And I'll just say this, after sitting in class for 6 hours a week for, I don't know, the better part of 3 months, there's a lot of projects that I'm really excited to undertake. However, that doesn't mean I can go all out just yet. I do have to keep priorities in mind. Last year, one of our biggest land challenges was trying to maintain weeds. We have a noxious weed on our property called knapweed. Ha, there we go. Knapweed. Knapweed likes to live in locations that are sunny, that don't get a lot of water, in places where the soil has recently been disrupted. Yeah, sounds about right, yeah. Last year, we chose to control this with an herbicide called Milestone. However, a fellow master gardener, and an organic gardener at that, she claims that she controlled her knapweed by simply planting a cover crop. And it took a few years, but she was able to control it completely herbicide free. And my reaction to that is, well, that's very interesting. Maybe I could do that. And so I've set out on a quest to decide which type of cover crop we want to grow in this little land nook right here. This pile here is our knapweed that we pulled out by hand, and we're hoping to give her a good burn, but we better do that soon. So I did what any good master gardener in training would do. I asked people whose opinions I respected. I did a bunch of research on cover crops, and I think the one I'm gonna try is ryegrass. And I'm excited for that because we really don't want some tall crop growing right here. We'd really rather have something that will look like a lawn more or less. So what we need to do is find a way to rough up the soil, and we don't have any farm equipment. So I do have a redneck idea in mind. You definitely don't want to miss that video when it comes out. It was also recommended to me that we fertilize when we plant the seeds. However, wouldn't it be really awesome to know what's in the soil already? So today, we're gonna begin the adventure of testing our soil. There's a home test I'm gonna do to test the texture of the soil, and then also we're gonna collect a sample to send off to a lab for the pros to tell us what we're working with. So the first thing we want to find out, do we have sand, silt, or clay? Likely, we have a combination of the three. When we did the percolation test for our septic system, we were told that we had a sandy loam. So I'm curious if that's what our soil test shows. So for this test, we only need a few things. A mason jar, soap, shovel, and definitely some gloves. Hey look, we have a smidgen of snow left. Ain't gonna be around for much longer. What we're going to do is dig down maybe 10 to 12 inches. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill this mason jar about halfway up with soil. That's it, for step one at least. Look at this. This is nothing. That's not even nothing. Next, we get to fill this jar. I think what's hard is we have so many rocks and stuff in here, so I can try to get some of them out, but that's just the reality of the soil. All right, I think that's pretty good. And I'm borderline roasting, so just for grins, I thought I'd check the temperature on my phone. And it says 60 degrees, that's it. So if we're roasting at 60 degrees, man, have some sympathy for us when we're complaining when it's 80 or even 100. Next, we're gonna fill her up with water. Voila, done. We're gonna take about a teaspoon of dish soap. Nah, good enough. I believe what the soap does is helps the particles not stick together. We're gonna put the lid on and give her a little shake, shake, shake. Guess what? One time I tried to make butter this way and I shook for 45 minutes straight. No butter. It was quite the disappointment, and I was sore the next day and I didn't have butter, so overall it was just a huge fail. All right, we're gonna set her down and observe. Go. We're gonna do it inside here so you can see a little better, and I don't wanna move this thing when I'm done, so apparently the sand should settle first. And what we're gonna do is after a minute, we're gonna go ahead and mark where the sand line is. Holy moly, that's a lot of sand. It's about to go out of the frame of the camera. That is our sand line. So, getting attacked by stink bugs. Next, we're gonna let it sit for 4 to 6 hours, and what settles on top of that should be our silt. Then we're gonna have to wait a full 24 to 48 hours to see what the clay is on top of that. But I can tell you, I don't think it's gonna be much. On to test numero dos. I'm sure there's a lot of you that were just like me, like blah, 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 test the soil, yeah, but what does that mean exactly? How do you test the soil? That's a really great question. So from my understanding, there are a couple of labs in the US that test soil. Testing the soil is not as simple as just testing the pH. I believe that's a home test that you could do, but testing the soil thoroughly is really something that you need to let someone do that has a setup to do it. A really great place to start would be your county extension office. And our extension office actually carries soil testing bags, and they have some really great instructions that they're willing to print off for me as far as how to test the soil and the different types of tests available, because believe it or not, there ain't just one test, because everything gotta be complicated. We are choosing to test ours with the Stukenholtz Laboratory. Look them up. They got a website. And as you'll see, there are numerous tests that we can choose to do. And they range from $16 all the way to $50. Even after all this education, when I see this sheet, the only thing that goes through my mind is, if any of you guys know which YouTuber makes that face, and bonus points if you know which video it's from, then good job, I'll give you a virtual high five. So the Stukenholtz Laboratory actually provides little baggies for you to fill out. It's kind of like a barf bag, but it's for soil. And I should probably fill this out before it's full of soil, because that would be the smart thing to do. Done enough. Time to go get our soil. So I guess all I'm gonna do here is try to collect soil about 10 to 12 inches down. Basically the idea is that you don't want to get soil from just one spot, but you want to cover a diverse area to more accurately portray what your soil composition is. And I'm pretty sure if you don't do it in this exact pattern, there's a really good chance you'll die. Hey, would you look at that? That's annoying. Looks like the sand has settled a little bit, so probably gonna go ahead and mark a new line, I guess. If you're looking for property to buy and soil is of utmost importance to you, that is one thing you can do before you write an offer on the property, is just get a simple soil test done. And people do buy or don't buy land based on that alone. For us, it wasn't a deal breaker. Last hole, methinks, this is where our septic system is. You think that this soil would be very fertile, no? All right, guys, that is it. Yay! Alyssa was productive today. So it's Friday afternoon, about 4 o'clock when I'm filming this, which means it's probably not gonna get shipped out today. Probably isn't gonna get shipped out over the weekend either. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this by the front door so I remember. Actually, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure you need to refrigerate it. So I might stick it in the refrigerator. Now, if you remember in our last video, I have this disgusting heap of worms and worm tea to deal with. And you know what? I'm tired of looking at it, so we're gonna go ahead and put it on the compost pile where all rotting things go to die. I did not, however, bring my splash guard, my rain suit, or my nose plug, so this could get pretty gross. This stuff's rank. Someone in the comment said, this isn't worm tea, it's worm soup. I almost just splashed that in my face. How nasty would that be? 3, 2, 1. Ah! Look at all that nastiness. If If I were a dog, I'd roll in it. So that's all I had planned for the soil testing. If that was cool, I probably wouldn't publish the video until I had the results of those 2 tests, but I think I'll make you guys wait. Okay, I'm not that mean. There is one more project I'll share with you. Leave it on a good note. I'm going to spend the rest of the evening or the afternoon working on building my raised beds. I was really struggling with this, but Jesse gave me a few pointers to make it go a little quicker, so that's what I'm gonna work on. I wanna say, sometimes coming out of the cabin and looking at our property, all we see is all the work that we have left to do, and I've made huge progress on this garden project, yet all I see are a bunch of posts in the ground, half-rotten lumber, and a lot of work that still needs done. But I think that's just the reality of building a home and starting a homestead from scratch. You literally have to do everything. On the other hand, we also see everything that we have done, and we feel really proud of ourselves because we did it. Nobody did this for us. And on that note, I think it's time to cut the video. This girl's got to get some real work done. Sorry, guys.